Good morning, everybody. My name is Sterling, and you are watching Jalisco Home, my YouTube channel called Jalisco Home. I also have a Facebook group with the same name, and I have a developing website with the same name. I told you in another video about the house I bought here in Guadalajara, about how I really wasn't intending to buy when I moved here, but I decided to buy just kind of to prevent the long-term loss of my savings account in the United States, basically by buying a house. And I'm going to cut right to the chase here and show you how you also could make a decent amount of worry-free money by investing in houses here in Guadalajara. And in just a minute, I'm going to show you some real numbers. Excuse me. Now, what I didn't really realize until after I bought my house was the rate of return that I was signing up for, because there is such a steady and reliable growth of property value here that it can't be compared to the United States. There's never been a crash here. There's not going to be a crash here. The banks are super controlled here. And the rental rates have been rising as well. So as a US dollar-based buyer, it's super inexpensive to get your foot in the door here and make a real reasonable return on your investment, which obviously isn't happening if it's not happening if you have your money in the stocks, in the stock market right now. So I'm going to go through just one typical example in this video, and if it grabs your attention, please contact me. There's money to be made here. This example I'm going to give you is the biggest and most comfortable house in the middle class community where I live, where I bought my house. And right at the moment, you can purchase a house like this for just under the 90,000 US dollar mark, depending on the currency exchange. This last week, we had something incredible happen due to this pandemic thing. The strength of the dollar went way up compared to the peso, and you could have bought for a lot less than that a week ago. But things are evening out, and I think the exchange rate's going to be back down to a reliable, predictable level like it has been for quite some time. So let's look at where buying this kind of a house could take you in a few years by examining how a buyer could be profiting in this market if this house was purchased 5 years ago as an investment. So here we go. I'm going to give you all these values in pesos. The important factor is the return on investment. And pardon me, I have to move my picture over while I scroll up to the top of the document, because I want to show you in this, what I'm going to show you in this document, I'm going to start by just showing you the rate of return in value. If you'd bought this house in August of 2013, these houses were selling for 1,054,310 pesos. Now, what I've included here is data I accumulated here on the price increase history beginning in 2013. You can see that generally the prices went up 2 to 3 times a year by a significant amount. The 2016 and 2017 data I couldn't find, but you can see there's a jump here. It consistently climbed during that period, and it kept climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing until finally we reached today. In about 3 weeks, the price level is going to increase from 1,798,000 pesos, for which you could buy that house at this moment, to 1,825,000 pesos in 3 weeks. So if you bought this house in August of 2013, as of April 10th, 3 weeks from now, the value of that house would have increased by 771,000 pesos. Don't worry about the dollar values right now. If you are worried, just divide it by 20. It gives you an approximate value. Now, let me move my picture down here. Keep that number in mind. That 771,000 pesos is just your return on investment on buying property. That does not take into account the potential money you could make renting houses. And here in Mexico, renting houses is so much easier and so much more reliable. Excuse me there. So much more reliable than it is in the United States. So what I have here is a 6-year rental income table I based it on the fact that last year, 2019, you would have expected to bring in 8,000 pesos per month on a rental for a house of this caliber, based on the value of the house being less the previous year, et cetera, et cetera. These are the amounts of rent you would have expected to collect during these years. So you can see in 2014, at 5,500 a month, you would have expected to collect 66,000 pesos for the year. 2016, at 6,500 pesos per month, you would have expected to collect 78,000 pesos per year, et cetera, et cetera. And that number is always increasing. Next year, you're going to be able to charge 8,500 pesos per month because the price of the house has gone up. The value of the house has gone up again. So you can see here my 6-year kind of projected rental income would have been 486,000 pesos if I had bought the house in 2013. Of course, there are maintenance costs. Maintenance costs are very low here. Labor is very cheap. 400 pesos per month pretty much covers it. What you might have to cover for repainting and repairs in between rental. Property tax is extremely cheap here. 8,000 pesos over 6 years it's a reasonable number, very reasonable number. So subtracting out the maintenance costs and the property tax costs, your net rental income would be somewhere just shy of 450,000 pesos over 6 years. Pardon me, based on these projections. So what would your total overall value gain be for 6 years? Well, it would be that 450,000 pesos in income for rent. And if you should decide to sell the house after 6 years, you'd have 771,000 pesos in increase in value. So that gives you a total value gain over 6 years of 1,220,000 pesos. Now, what is that on a yearly basis? Divide that by 6, it means you gained about 203,360 pesos in value over 6 years annually. What does that mean by the month? Just divide it by 12. It means you gained a value of about just shy of 17,000 pesos per month. Well, in Mexico, that's a lot of money. That is a reasonable salary in Mexico. By buying this house, you earned yourself an extra salary. If you could buy 2 of these houses, you can earn yourself 2 salaries. If you could buy 3 of these houses, you can earn yourself 3 salaries. And you can see getting your foot in the door here is really inexpensive because 90,000 US dollars for a really nice condo is like, that's just not obtainable inside the United States. So that's pretty much the summary of my analysis. If this caught your attention, please give me a holler. I think actually we're going down to Chapala next week. I and my associate who is working with me on forwarding this idea. So hey, drop me a line, send me a message, leave a message in the video, get in contact with me. It's easy to get in contact. Look for my Facebook groups and Facebook group. Send me a personal message on Messenger, whatever you want to do. Thank you for listening. And please, while you're at it, if you like this material, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be bringing you a lot more relevant information about how you can make some money by investing in property in Mexico. Talk to you in the next video. Have a good day.